Parle-moi to Verity. Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Why did I just sound like Musa Kaula? Baramini bitches. Jokes, but seriously, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been here for a while. I feel like I say that every single video because they're so far and few in between, but that's because I'm busy getting a law degree, okay? So y'all gotta be patient with me. And if you're not subscribed to my vlog channel, what are you doing? Click the link in the description box and subscribe, because I feel like I'm uploading on there more often than I'm uploading on here. Anyways, on to the book review. Today we are reviewing Verity, another one of Colleen Hoover's amazing books. If you've watched my other vlogs, I've reviewed quite a couple of her books. They're all somewhere there at the back there. I know Reminders of Him is there, Ugly Love, It Ends With Us, etc, etc. So Colleen Hoover, you gotta hate to love her, you know. And I say this because like a lot of her books, the ones that I just mentioned, are like super sad romance novels, and but they're just so gripping. They're just so good. It's like watching your favorite love series on like Netflix, except it's in like a book form. But this, however, is super different from what you usually write. It's like a thriller suspense, and I absolutely loved it. I devoured it in like 2 days, and for me that's actually quite short because I read very slowly. It takes me about a month or so to read one book, but I finished this within like 2 days just because I couldn't put it down. It was so gripping. It was so creepy, but I just couldn't look away. It's like that terrible car accident you see that you know you're gonna like have nightmares about, but you still look. As you drive past, you look and look and look. This is what it was like to read Colleen Hoover's Verity. So let's start with the cover. Very confusing, doesn't really tell you what the story is about. It's like, it's giving sci-fi, honestly, this cover. But once you read the book, the cover makes sense. I don't want to elaborate on the cover, otherwise I will be spoiling some of the book for you. The length of the book, it's very short, so it wasn't difficult for me to read it in 2 days. It is all of not the acknowledgements, 313 pages, so that's not too bad, I'd say. And the font size also is not bad, actually a decent size. I actually got this book as a birthday gift from a friend, and I love it. I've been putting it off for a while, and I think I've mentioned this before. I started reading this last year in like May-ish, and then I forgot it here when I left to go to Cape Town. Then I came back, my son had taken the bookmark out, I'd forgotten what the story was about, so I was just like, you know what, leave it until I've completely just like forgotten about Verity. And I did that, and I'm so glad, and it's beautiful. Oh, so good. So Verity is, it says it's dedicated to the only person this book could possibly be dedicated to, Taryn Fisher. Thank you for accepting the darkness in people as much as you accept their light. I don't know who Taryn Fisher is, but anyways, moving along. This is not a book that I would have picked up, I think. Like, this is not a Colleen Hoover book that I would have picked up if I had bought it for myself in the bookstore. But I'm glad I got this. So this follows the life of Lowen Ashley, who is a writer and is struggling financially. She got evicted, her mom passed away. It's just a mess. Her life is in shambles, proper shambles. And somewhere, somehow, maybe this is what I like to believe, I feel like the spirit, her mother's spirit, was just like looking out for her, and she was contacted, well, her agent was contacted for her to be a ghostwriter for somebody, and that person is Verity. So Verity is actually the person's name. So Verity is incapacitated physically and mentally after a terrible car accident, and she's got this series of books that needs to be finished, and her husband and her agent are out looking for a writer, and they choose Lowen Ashley as the writer. And Lowen gets like gang money from this, and her life makes a huge turnaround. Good for her. But then Lowen has to move into this family's house. So she has to move into Verity's home, where Verity is in this bed where she cannot move, she cannot speak. And Verity's husband and their son, they also had 2 twin daughters who passed away tragically in separate incidents, which I honestly, for the longest time, thought that Verity unalived the baby girls. I did. I was just like, she did it. So anyways, Lowen is in this home that is creepy AF. You guys, when I say this is creepy, it is like, in my head, as I read this, I was just like imagining the type of music that would accompany this should it be made into a movie or a series. And that music was like haunting. It just felt haunting, to the point that I started having really terrible like nights of sleep. I had nightmares about this. I couldn't sleep the one night because it felt like, so in my bedroom there's like a long passage before you get into the actual bedroom. So in the long passage it's like my wardrobes, and then opposite the wardrobes is the bathroom. And it felt like Verity was standing in this passage, in this corridor in my bedroom, and like watching me sleep. And I would wake up and just look to make sure Verity's not. And also another thing is, like, I sleep with my door open now because for my son, in case he wants to come into my bedroom at night, he doesn't need to struggle. And that also just made me freak out. Like, if my door was not closed, Verity could walk in any minute now and just stand and look at me and plot terrible things. So if you have like come across TikToks about Manuscript versus what was it, the team letter or team Manuscript, it's from this, okay? There is a letter that is written by Verity that Lowen finds at the end of this book. And there's also a manuscript written by Verity that Lowen finds in the beginning of this book. I cannot divulge the details of both of these documents because I would be spoiling the book for you. But if you wanted to know, I am team Manuscript, okay? Verity's acting like we were born yesterday with that stupid letter of hers. Why did you write the manuscript then? Also, yeah, anyways, absolutely creepy, okay, but really just delicious. Gobbled it up, and 5 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna get my book journal and see what I actually wrote about this in it. Hang on a second. Okay, y'all, if you saw the I think it was actually that reading vlog where I was reading this, I think, yeah. Anyways, I'll link it above or in the description box. So Verity was nominated for a Choice Award in Romance. I don't know how, but anyways, the notes I wrote, I couldn't have ever thought Verity would end the way that it did, exclamation mark. I'm team Manuscript, exclamation mark. I couldn't live with myself if I were Lowen after reading that letter. And then, I'm not going to say this part because it's a spoiler. A memorable quote I wrote too here: no one is likable from the inside out. Except for me. Joking. And then this one says, I stretch truths where I see fit. I'm a writer. Then I said Colleen redeemed herself with this book. She really did, because I just felt like, as much as I love reading Colleen's books, they were getting a little bit monotonous. Not that the storylines were the same at all, no, just like the way that things happen. There's like a tragedy all the time and people fall in love and there's like almost a formula that she writes with, which, great that she has a formula and it clearly works because her books are great and they sell a lot. So still, it's they're a little bit predictable, except for those like few plot twists. This was just so plot based, like plot twist here, oh plot twist, plot, another plot twist. Amazing. Love it, love it, love it. And that brings me to the end of this book review. I hope to see you guys soon again, okay? If I don't, come see me on the Sutumanis vlog channel, okay? And subscribe to that channel, and remember to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe here if you're not subscribed, okay? Okay, bye.